What's up, guys? This is Wolf Gaming, your channel for fresh Arena of Valor content, and I've got a brand new video for you with one of the heroes that I haven't played since almost 2.5 years. I'm talking about Zuka, the Panda champion. He's supposed to be some sort of assassin-like character, and the reason why you don't really find that much content on this channel is that I actually don't really enjoy his playstyle too much. He is a hero who is, in my opinion, more sorts of a RoV 2.0, but more of a RoV minus 2.0. So he's all about mobility. He is some sort of burst champion with who you want to engage whenever suitable. So you are some sort of glass cannon. You have to pick your fights quite wisely. You're not building any kind of armor instead of the jungle item, or despite the jungle item, which is going to be the Leviathan here in this build. And if you guys are following my channel quite regularly, you know that I love those more bulky heroes, more sorts of some bruisers, and I rather have the super bursty ones, for example like Lindis in the jungle, but I don't really like those high mobility, super high skill cap ones, because I guess I'm just too old for this kind of gameplay, and therefore I've got some new game, and you guys are going to evaluate how my performance was in the end, I suppose, after 17 minutes of gameplay. So, first of all, I want to share the new build that I have chosen for today's video. Equipment-wise, as I said, we're going into the jungle. He is ranked as one of the highest tier members in the jungle by our fellow content creator Doiser, with the, I think, exact same build, especially because of the enchantments. So as you can see, we're building him quite bruisey, or quite sustained, with Leviathan the only item being quite tanky. The rest of it with, okay, Spare Longinus is some kind of hybrid weapon, but with Omni Arms and Fenris we're most likely going to deal damage. Putting on Gilded Greaves here for the additional crowd control resistance, because we're going to end up in the middle of the fight anyways. And when it comes to the enchantment section, we're going with the Shadow Blade, because we've got a lot of movement abilities. Basically, it's all movement abilities, S1, S2, and the ultimate. Deadly Claw is going to enhance our attack damage, and then with the ultimate here, we are going to set down our cooldown reduction a little bit. So the advice is to go in with some of the abilities, then use the ult, and then get a shorter cooldown, and then use the abilities again. In the second bracket, I'm going with the Arctic Orb to be invulnerable for a short duration of time if I end up in the thick of the things, and then the Gunslinger is going to enhance our stats by some purposes. Arcana wise, I've taken something which is 10 times Atrocity to boost our crit chances, and then we're going with Assassinate as well as Guerrilla in a split mix. And the rest of the Arcana section is Skewer for the additional armor pierce, which is actually coming in quite handy, because we want to burst down especially tanky heroes as fast as possible. So this is the build. If you like this kind of content, give it a thumbs up. Put down something in the comment section to help me grow the channel, because the algorithm loves likes and comments, as I highlight in the last videos all the time. And if you have not been subscribing to the channel, consider to subscribe. It's free, it doesn't cost a thing, and you will be notified about all the new updates on the channel whenever I put something online as well. So without further ado, let's hop right into the action and see what I am capable of doing with Zuka, because I guess it's not really what people actually can do with Zuka, but that's a different kind of story, and the end is going to be told at the end of the video. So enjoy and have fun. Alright, here we are in the actual gameplay, and what I always love to do at the beginning of each video is to talk about the different team composition, to give you an overview and my opinion on what I think will happen right from the start. So, talking about our team at first, we've got Dextra on the solo lane. I would say she is a subpar hero. She's not really picked that often. She can be quite tanky because of her ult, but most of the times I would prefer other heroes on that role, especially more tanky ones, because as you can see, we don't really have a real tank in the support section. But all in all, I think Dextra is actually fine, but there are better choices dominating the current meta, so I would say it's decent, even a little bit less. In the mid lane, we've got Vera, who is basically the one-trick pony with little mechanics to be mastered. She is, I think, a meme in the Arena of Valor world, especially on Reddit, because she doesn't really have any kind of crazy toolkit in terms of mechanics. It's pressing buttons and killing things, which is actually quite good because it means that she can deliver killing blows quite successfully without any further problems. But of course, she is not putting any crazy shenanigans into the game, but that's just how Vera is played since she has been introduced. She's just about pressing one button and then pressing two buttons, and then that's a kill. On the duo lane, oh, that was a crazy body block here. Now, in hindsight, I thought I have been body blocked, but I just saw that Grug was basically using his hook to pull me towards on basically blank spot range. What's the term for this? When you are shooting a barrel quite like right into the face of someone. That's what happened, and I didn't really notice it when I was playing the game. I was a little bit confused. I was like, "Well, that was a body block. Am I blocked by the mere existence of someone?" But to continue to talk about the team composition, we have Alice and Violet in the bottom lane or the duo lane. Not really one of the strongest matchups, I would say. Violet is kind of a decent hero. Alice is also quite a decent hero. I mean, she's fairly good if you are playing around her kind of toolkit, because she has a good spell with a stun. She's got the movement speed buff with the shield, and she can deny places with her ult, which is really, really powerful in coordinated team play. But in solo or double queue matches, I think there are better choices in the support. And me being Zuka as a glass cannon with Ivory and Grug on the opposing team, I think our team composition could be a little bit better with some of the meta choices, but you have to play what they have given you, so that's not really something that we can change. But I think our team composition is not that strong in general. Looking at the team composition on the opposing side, we have Kali on the opposing lane. Kali has become a real threat since some of the changes have just hit the game, because her ultimate is basically always ready. Every single time I play with players and we are facing Kali, everyone is quite surprised how often she can use her ult. Basically the cooldown, it seems it's 5 seconds. I think it's more, it's 25 or something like that. But the frequency that she can dish out damage by using her ult, which is quite powerful, is actually quite frightening. So she is a threat to bear, especially in team fights, because our Vera is more sorts of a single spot hero. She's really good at just taking out a single source of enemy threat, but Kali is able to just deal with multiple heroes at a certain time given. So I think this choice, especially in team fights, is a little bit stronger. They've got Fennec in the jungle, not really a force to be reckoned with. Fennec is quite mobile, he's got good damage, but he's not one of the great heroes in the jungle. So I would say Zuka is a better choice in general. Not talking about any team compositions, but in this case, I think Fennec is the weaker choice. They've got Ivory In the top lane, I think Ivy is actually quite strong. She's got a good toolkit, she's got some range mechanics, she's got good mobility. With her ult, she can become quite tanky with the true damage that they have implemented with one of the buffs that has been introduced to the game quite recently. She is actually, or she has become a really good hero, especially on getting tanks with her true damage. That's a new mechanic that works actually quite nice. And I would say the team composition in the dual lane, and that's the most important one, is way better than ours. They've got Grak, and therefore they've got a real true tank with a stupid mechanic with the hook. And they've got Telenas, who has incredible range, and it will be a pain in the ass to get by Grak close to Telenas in order to get her. So I'm more sorts of some kind of mage or AD carry hunter with Zuka, but as Grug is there being quite crowd control intense, I'm going to have a hard time to just pass him because he's got measures to stop me in my tracks whenever I hit the spot. So I would say in total, when I'm looking at what the enemies have brought to the table and what we brought to the table, I think their team composition is stronger than ours. Not in terms of what they picked, but what they are facing or what we are facing. I think their team composition is better against our team than our team is against theirs. And something that's really lackluster, and you guys are going to see that in the end of the video, you will have some sort of impression while we're playing this, is that our Violet is not really on the measures of anything. Like, she will end up with 0 fight participation, and that is quite painful to watch, and it's quite painful to play with her because she doesn't have an impact at all. 0 fight participation means you have not even found a pot shot view or angle to just do something to get an assist. It means literally that you did not even assist in a single kill. That is how fight participation 0% is measured in the game. So she was basically the most ineffective person that I've seen, I think, in months. And that hurts quite a lot because we need a good AD carry in order to win the game because we need the damage. So I don't know what happened, if that was because of bad gateway, if the Wi-Fi was corrupted, or what was the reason for that. The problem is everything that counts is the outcome. And the outcome is that our Violet will have 0 fight participation at the end of the game. And this is going to tell you something on how the game is going to continue, because that's actually really sad. And it's going to take us quite some luck to win this game. But as you can see, like, this went actually quite fine. So I used Zuka's mobility here to get a lot of damage onto the enemies, even resulting in a kill. So I kind of paid my dues for the 2 deaths that I have just been causing at the beginning of the game. Now I'm going into the tower, but I saw that Grug was there, but my hook was, or his hook was prevented from one of the minions, so I'm fine. But the problem with Zuka that I always have is that you enter fight, and even if you manage to deal some damage, you will always be quite low on health, and you don't really have any means of getting that health back quite quickly. So you are always ending up with the choice: either go back and heal but miss some of the farm, or put the enemy jungler in a better position because he will get the farm and you won't, or you are going in with quite low health, and that means that you are putting yourself in danger of being killed, especially against Telenas and Kali, because they have really good DPS, which means damage per second. You can even say damage over time. Telenas has great range, and she's got some crowd control stuff that she can just throw into my face, hindering me from jumping in. In this case, it didn't work out because I think she was a little bit too confident that her team would work as a backup. But all in all, things are not looking too bright for our team, despite the fact that we just managed to kill 2 enemies in this sequence. Now I'm jumping around a little bit with Irie, and I think that was a mistake. I should have just moved out straight out of her movement and not getting killed here in the sequence of the fight. But yeah, I'm not really playing that Zuka that often, so it's a bit hard to estimate how much power or how much movement he has. That should not be an excuse. It's more some sort of explanation why I'm not really putting some performance down here. It's just I just don't like him that much. I don't know if you guys understand, but as I'm playing around 100 heroes in total on this channel, not really focusing on a special hero, I just have heroes that are like more, and I've got heroes that are like less, and Zuka is unfortunately a hero that I like less. I really loved the skin design. I was eager to get the Toothbrush Fairy. I spent, I think, real money on this because I think I thought at that point that it's hilarious that he is in some kind of jumpsuit or in some kind of onesie where he is actually having a pajama on with a toothbrush and everything like that. So the skin is super nice and super clean. I love this skin, but unfortunately the hero doesn't work for me that quite well. And unfortunately, I think it shows. And that's the main problem about this. I just can't put him into action the way that I would love to put him into action. That said, when he is executing things or getting things into action, he can be actually quite powerful, but you have to wait for your moment to shine. You can't jump over walls with your S1 in terms of the jungle creeps, which I think is actually quite lackluster, because why? He's one of the only heroes that can't. Maybe I was standing a little bit too far away from the wall, but I don't really think, because I actually had the feeling that I was hugging that wall. But all in all, yeah, I think he's good if you can make him work, but unfortunately I really can't, and therefore I think this is going to be another video on Zuka, and then there will be a big pause until he gets some kind of rework or buff or something that might put him in a spot where he is appealing for me again, because right now he just isn't. I just don't feel this hero. I would rather take Zephyrs in the jungle. I would rather take Lindis in the jungle. I would rather take some other hero in the jungle that I feel confident about. I mean, this is a casual game, so it's not really about winning it or losing it or doing something about it. It's just kind of fun. I'm playing games after I've been working, after I've been doing things, going for a walk with my dog. So I don't know if you guys have ever played with me, but if you have played with me, you know that I'm not super serious about the game. I just don't take it that serious because it's a game. In the end, it's a game, and I want to enjoy myself and I want to have fun, and I can do that with playing heroes like Zuka, even if I am not the best Zuka player in the world. That game, it was fun. So that's my main goal when I'm getting my mobile out and I'm starting Arena of Valor. Don't know what happened here. I think I was kind of relying a little bit too much on a Blade of Eternity, because that was actually super stupid. I can't put it in a better way. I can't put it in a more mildly way. That was just insane. Why did I go for the kill? Look at that. Violet is 0-4-0. Is she even playing the game? Yes, because she's got a lot of farm. How did she got the farm, and what did she do with it? No one knows. It's a complete mysterium, and the problem is we're not going to find out at the end of the video. She's already level 15, so that's nice, but there is a hook, and she's dead. And now the problem is that the wave clear of the enemies is actually super good. They've got Telenos, they've got Kali, and with both of these heroes combined, they can just whittle down a minion wave in seconds. And we do have a hard time to go in because a Grakok means instant death, that's for sure. And the problem is that Kali will have her ultimate ready in about that was like 15 or 20 seconds. I think they should do something about this. I mean, yes, she's not one of the strongest heroes in the game right now, but the frequency that she can apply ult in those fights is actually insane. It doesn't really make sense to have her given an ult that is so powerful. And unfortunately, it's go again. Here we go. There's ult again. She can just spam ult, and that's a complete devastation for our team. And now, even without minions, damage from all those heroes is obviously sufficient enough to end the game. So this was my Zuka match. I still don't enjoy him that well or that much. I think our team composition could have been a little bit better with a true tank, giving me some opportunities to go into the fight when my team was engaging. I think that would have just opened some angles or some vectors to make him being played a little bit more efficiently. But as you can see, I'm stuck on 6.8 points, so I'm second best player. Violet has 0.0 fight participation, and yeah, that's not something that should happen. Hope you guys still enjoyed the game. Hope you guys are going to watch the video that is going to be introduced in 2 days. Leave comments, likes and stuff as I said, and thanks for watching. Enjoy your evening and have a good time. Thanks. Bye bye.